Well, hello everyone. This is Saturday, February 10th, 2018, and it's good to be talking to you through this video today. Going to take you on a little ride with us. This is a minnow feeder with a new base that I just welded up. Took a trailer axle, and what you see in the middle there is the hub off the axle. Cut up the rest of the pieces of the axle and make those legs on it. So we're going to head right down the highway here, heading over to the west side where we will trade out a broken mineral feeder for this one that I've just repaired. As you look there to the west, you can see that there is a weather change coming. So as we're driving down the highway here, it's about 70 degrees. The time is just right around noon. And you can see us there. So that's us traveling westbound there. We just met someone going eastbound. But you can see over there on the horizon that there's a different kind of weather headed our way. And in fact, before we got out of this pasture, the weather had already changed and the temperature dropped about 15 degrees and the wind came up to about 15 to 20 miles an hour. So I wasn't quite ready for it. I was just wearing my shirt, no coat. Michelle had a light jacket on with her, so she was slightly better prepared, but only slightly better. So there we're flying over Dean's Place and now on to our west place there. And you can see the cattle, for whatever reason, are right up there by the gate. So I guess there's a little bit of green ryegrass growing right there. Little volunteer ryegrass coming in there. They can see us coming, so yeah, they're going to be right at the gate to meet us there. We'd already fed them this morning, so they can't be hungry. They're just more curious, I think, than anything else. And they're just going to come up and see what's going on. So coming in here, the top side, the north side of the pasture, and we will obviously have to close this gate behind us. And that's me running the gate. Michelle, she's driving the little Polaris. And we've got that newly repaired feeder tied into the back there. And so we're going to take it out and, as I said, swap it out. Yeah, so it's a beautiful day at this point. And we've already been to town to Producers. We've got our feed bought for the coming week. And we are watching the weather, so we know it's going to cool down, but it will drop about 40 degrees over the course of this day, so it's going to get much cooler than even is right here. So we're going to head right down the fence line here, and the mineral feeder that we're going to replace is at the bottom of this pasture. Michelle and I have been talking about my little videos here that I make, and she's turned into quite the movie critic. So it's her observation that my movies are entirely too long, that I need to shorten them down a bit. But I'm not so sure. I'll try it though. We're going to make this a shorter video today. We're only going to go about 10 minutes or something like that. See if that's a better deal. I could pack a lot of information into 10 minutes, I think. So there we go. We're barreling along the fence there. We are southbound, and you can see that, you know, it's a little bit muddy, so we've still been getting rain. According to the drought monitor, we're still very dry, but I can't say that that's true on our place. I think that the moisture here is perfectly adequate. I haven't really checked subsoil moisture, but I think it's probably okay. But in any case, it is muddy on the surface, that's for sure, and just pretty much anywhere you go, that's true. All right, so we're coming down about halfway down through the pasture there, and just noted there on the screen that I've got some dead trees, and that one right there is the biggest. That thing's about 16 feet around, and it's got all sorts of dead limbs hanging up in there, and I don't dare try to attack it with my chainsaw. I would be at risk of something falling, I'm sure. All right, so as you head back there, you can see the trees on the left. That's our place we call the dark side. And so there's about 100 acres back there that we're constantly puzzled as to what we should be doing with it. But for the past 15 years, we've essentially done nothing. I will get out there with my shredder at some point this winter and clean things up around the edges and the pathways that go through there. But it's a piece of land that we haven't really quite figured out what to do with up to this point in time. All right, so we're almost back there. You can see off to the left here the old hunting van that has been a lawn ornament there for the entire time that we've owned this place. Jen and Dave and their friends, well, they've been over, I'm sure at some point have used that thing for target practice. It has hundreds of bullet holes in it at this point. There you can see our little trap. So we have half of our feed bunks inside that and half outside. So we feed inside there so that whenever we want to, we can pretty much capture, well, not all of them, but we'll get 90% of them captured inside there if we want to try to move them back home. So we will continue to feed inside there so that whatever day it is when we want to try to bring them back, we'll be able to capture them. All right, I pulled up there. You can see the dead feeder there laying beside the Polaris. So what happens is the legs rot off. The poly part of the feeder is just tough as nails and will have really just an indefinite life. But that steel part, the base, tends to rust through it relatively quickly. So what we'll do is take that one back with us, and I'm going to weld up another base like this one that I'm about to put together here. All right, I got the drone parked in the air right where I want it, and now I can proceed to put this this new feeder together, or this rebuilt feeder together. So I got everything tied in here in the back of the little Polaris, so it wouldn't fall out on the drive over here. And there comes the poly part. Get that out of there, and then we'll get the big heavy base out of there. That base is really heavy, so I'm optimistic that it's going to have a much longer life than the factory base that comes with the feeder. All right, you can see that the calves have caught up to us, and every last one of them is going to show up there. I'll give you a nice look at them here before we close this video out. They sure look good. They're doing really, really well, and if I could get a free Friday, I could get these things sorted up and get some of them taken in and sell them. But right now, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting any time off. So they're doing well. They're growing. The market's remaining pretty good, despite what's happened with the stock market this week. Been a bit of a disaster in the stock market, one of the most volatile weeks that I can remember for a long time. But the cattle market seems to be doing okay in light of that. All right, so here comes the base, and it is a bit heavy, but I think it's going to hold up pretty well too because of that. Didn't take me too terribly long to make it, so now that I've got one made, I know exactly what to do to make another one. In fact, I want to do probably about 3 more of those things, and they don't take that long to get them done. So I brought 2 bags of mineral with me, so I'll dump the mineral in there and load up the dead mineral feeder there, and we'll be good to go. This afternoon, Michelle, she's going to go back to her harrowing. She's been in middle pasture and the west pasture. I think she's out working, and she'll be out working in the west pasture this afternoon. Really having a nice impact on conditions out there. So it knocks down the ant mounds, and it knocks down the gopher mounds, and it also, of course, cleans up the manure in the pasture. So really nice to recycle all the nutrients in there, because we spend a ton of money on fertilizer in the spring and the summer, and so recycling that really kind of helps out with economics out here. All right, so here goes the old feeder. I'll load it up. Strap her down, and we'll be good to head back home. I'm going to put up my second video in the financial planning series that I'm doing sometime this weekend. I've got all the content figured out. I just need to put it onto the video and then get it posted up there on the YouTube. So I think I've got some nice ideas to share. Hopefully, family finds it all a little bit value adding anyway. All right, so I got it in there. I'm going to strap that thing down, and we're going to head back. So right now the weather has changed. So we're both talking about feeling the chill in the air, and it did it literally in less than a minute. So it went from 70 degrees to 55 degrees in 60 seconds. And the wind chill came with it, so really, really cool. Well, I hope you all have a great one. Thanks for watching my little video here, and I'll give you a shot of the cattle here before we close this thing down.